serious?
Hi there guys, welcome, can you actually even see me? Hi there guys, welcome to the video, thank you very much for tuning in. And a giant box, yeah, I think I've never unboxed anything this big on this channel. Maybe an RC car, but it's a giant box. Yeah, so you've seen the title of the video. In this video I'm gonna show you the content of this here box, which is from Elegoo. Can you actually see Elegoo? Yeah, there, oh there, Elegoo. Elegoo, I'm not sure. This is my very first product from Elegoo, and it's a 3D printer, a giant 3D printer at that. This is definitely by far the largest 3D printer I've ever had. 32 or 33 centimeters by 33.5 meters in height, build platform, build volume. So yeah, giant box. I've actually had to go to my my employer's office to unbox this because in my tiny little studio I wouldn't have place for such a big box. Yeah, in this video I'm going to do a couple of videos on this printer. In this video I'm going to show you how well it's packaged, what you get for your money, and what my first impressions are. I'll try to keep this video as short as possible. In a second video I'm going to show you how to assemble this and get it print ready. And I'll probably do a review of this printer as well. So let's get started. Let's dig into this giant box. Here we go. Alrighty guys and girls, of course, even though the statistics of my channel say that most of you will be guys. And okay, so Elegoo. Elegoo? Have you ever heard of Elegoo? I had, even though I've never had a product from Elegoo. They make 3D printers, primarily. They also sell filament, but mostly printers. This is an FDM printer, so an extruder. They also make resin printers. And where do they fit in the scheme of things? Are they a budget manufacturer or maybe something else? Their printers range from $100 for one of their cheapest resin printer, which is definitely interesting and what I would like to have a look at in the future. Okay, so and that's their cheapest, 100, and they have a $1,000 resin, yeah, also resin printer, obviously a bigger resin printer. This printer here falls smack in the middle of things. Approximately $500. Maybe by the time you are watching this video it's less, or maybe a little bit more. Yeah, there'll be a link in the description to this printer. It is not an affiliate link though, so just so you know. And yeah, so approximately 500 euros. And currently my go-to printer, my daily printer if you will, is the Creality Ender S1 Pro, which is a smaller printer but more expensive. Yeah, and this printer does have a lot of the features that the Ender S1 Pro also has. Not all, but a lot, which you'll see. Okay, so the box itself. I've actually told Elegoo that they should improve their boxing a little bit. And essentially the box itself is fine, but their taping, right? You can see that, the taping let loose a little bit. Other than that, obviously this box comes from China and it's also very heavy. Maybe that encouraged the shipper to be a little more careful with the box, but the result is that the box looks pretty much pristine. Yeah, I'm not worried about the content of this box, but still the taping should be a little better, and I'll tell Elegoo about that. Oh, there's a little bit of damage to the box over here. That shouldn't... Oh, there's an inner box, or maybe the other side of the box. Yeah, packaging, reasonable. The box itself is good. The taping could be a little bit better. Okay, let's dig into this giant box. I'm not sure what the weight of this box is. Educated guess, 25 to 30 kilos maybe? I don't know. I really don't know, but it's definitely not a light box. Hard chic day. Okay, so at the top are the content of the box is protected with a layer of foam. Very, very nice. Let's get rid of that. And as you can hopefully see here, there's no leftover space. Nothing in the box looks to be able to rattle around at all. So that's nice. Okay. Okay. A separate compartment with some documentation, notice for use. We've got a manual, which we will definitely have a look at in the assembly of this printer in the next video. We've got, which I'm guessing would be the platform for the control box, the user interface, even though it seems to be maybe like this. We'll see again in the next video, in the assembly video, but okay, funny enough, this is injection molded, so not 3D printed. Yeah, okay. We got a filament holder, standard fare filament holder, looks fine. We've got a baggie with accessories, a USB cable, a scraper, plastic scraper. Yeah, that's probably appropriate, as this printer has a flex plate, so you won't often need a scraper, but if you do, this way you won't damage the plate, the build plate, so that's nice. We've got, what is this? No idea. We've got some zip ties and some starter PLA filament. Yeah, standard fare, we got screwdrivers, hex keys, everything we should need, oh, and screws, everything we should need to assemble the printer. Oh, this is something I've never seen come with a printer, an adhesion stick. Huh, I've actually never used these. I know a lot of people do. I've always tried to not have to do this, because after a while your printer will look like a mess. But it's, yeah, it's funny that they, well, funny, it's nice that they ship the printer with this. In my humble opinion, the printer shouldn't need it, but okay. Oh, and we've got an, what is this? American style? Probably power cord? Well, a power cord, but not a European one. Yeah, okay, I've got cables like this, but okay, so if you order this printer, be sure to have a D style of printer or computer power cord at your disposal, as you might not get the correct one, as we can see. Okay, let's see what we can dig out this time. Okay, from the looks of it, the upright, yeah, oh, no, I'll have to take these out. Yeah, okay, so these slabs keep the upright portion of our printer in place. Huh, I see something that's very nice and nicer, better engineered than on the Creality printers. You can probably see that, but on the top extrusion, the top bar, the LEDs are machined. Let me actually take this thing out, and then I can hopefully show you a little bit better. Damn, this is, yeah, this is a heavy part. Okay, so you are looking at the bottom of the top bar. Do you see all those LEDs? That is much nicer than what Creality did. Yeah. The LED bar on the Creality is also a nice touch, but this is, won't get in the way, right? Okay, so yeah, the upright, and we'll take a look at that closer in a minute, but it definitely feels sturdy, and also there should be some, yeah, some graphics. It's blue, matte blue, or obviously all aluminium, I suppose, metal at least. Some graphics on it. Nice. Elegoo at the top. Cool. And it looks mostly assembled, right? The entire printer head is already on there, which is different than on the Creality printers. Okay, let's get this out of the way. All right, and here we now see our giant build plate. Is that giant? Now this looks identical, not in size, but identical to the S1 Pro from Creality I have. So again, at least for PLA and flexible filaments, I don't think you'd need this. Maybe for ABS, maybe. Maybe they added it for that. Okay, on our left I see the control box, the user interface if you will. And with a cable, nice cable actually. Yeah, nice cable. I assume, yeah, this must be a touchscreen, but as there are no buttons whatsoever on this user interface, so it must be a touchscreen. Then can I take anything else out? Well, some foam here, some foam here. And what else? Maybe this, yep, some foam there. Okay, there's, yeah, oh damn, this is also pretty, no, that's not heavy, it was stuck in place. These are braces. As this is a big printer, my S1 Pro from Creality doesn't have bracing for the upper structure, but this is a bigger printer, right? So I think it's appropriate to have two diagonal braces. And yeah, in my assembly video I'll obviously show you how these go onto the printer. And from the looks of it, that's oh, there's some foam over here I can take out. Okay, yeah. Now the rest of the the rest of our printer should come out of the box. Now let me tell you, this printer definitely does not feel fragile. On the contrary, yeah, hot damn. That is one massive printer. Okay, I'll get rid of all this packaging and then we'll have a look at what we have here. Alright, let's have a look at all the parts individually, and here's the base plate of the printer, if you will, the base structure with its build plate, movable build plate obviously, and you see these green blocks. Those were actually around the adjustment screws, I think, at the bottom of the build plate. These serve to protect the build plate in shipping, fix it in place if you will. So there are 4 of these all around the printer, and be sure to take those out before you power the printer on. I'm sure it's protected against damage, but the printer probably won't really like it. So take those out. And okay, let's see, we've got one adjustment screw over here for the belt tension, which actually looks and feels pretty good already. Yeah, okay, so, and also this giant structure over here is all sheet metal or sheet aluminum. Probably actually sheet metal, where as on my Ender S1 Pro, this is plastic. And that creates kind of a sound box, be this making a sound box. It's not super duper loud, and we'll see if this printer is loud, but yeah, this I have more faith in. Okay, so adjustment screw and everything looks nicely finished so far. We got a tray over here, a rather small tray actually. Yeah, a bit of a small tray. Smaller I'd say than on, that's weird. There's all kinds of space in this printer. Yeah, that box could have been bigger, but okay. So definitely big enough for your side cutters. Which, do they come with the printer, a side cutter? No side cutter. We'll have a closer look at that in a second, but I don't think the printer comes with a side cutter. This is the first printer I get without a side cutter. That's not nice. Elegoo printer should come with a side cutter to snip off the remaining PLA or printer filament, right? Okay, on the right side of this giant thing. We've got, well, the power supply is in the base structure. And here is your on-off switch and your power inlet, the style of a plug. And the entire printer rests on thick, wide, very wide rubber feet. You can probably hear that when I set it down. It just, well, it's heavy, but it doesn't slam into the table. This should help your prints. Yeah, vibration isolation. Okay, and yeah, we've got a flexible build plate, magnetic, so I should be able to just take it off, and I can. So if you're new to printers, this makes it very easy to take your prints off of the build plate. You simply bend it, or maybe the other way around, and your print will snap on off. Yeah, that's again why I said you might not even need a scraper like this. Okie dokie, and that's about it. Yeah, there's braided cables going to, well, cables, one basically, and that'll go to the upper structure. We've got a thank you very much. RG45 style of plug over here, basically your old telephone kind of plug, and that's for the user interface. And let's have a look at that next. All right, the control panel, user interface if you will, which is again a touch screen, much like a lot of modern printers have. And in our assembly and setup video, we'll have a look at the user interface itself. Okay, nice coiled cable with an RG45, and that'll plug in over here on the printer. And the part I wasn't sure about, this is in fact the mount for this control panel, and it'll screw on to the printer over here on the right side of the printer. And the nice thing is, it is actually magnetic. What? Magnetic? Haha! Yeah, I'm not completely sure what the use case of that would be, but maybe your printer, you will set up the printer in an awkward space in your print farm or whatever, and you want to, well, have good access to the user interface. You simply lift it off, and well, it's a coiled cable. It's pretty long actually, so that could make it far easier to operate your printer. Maybe you will even set this printer up in an isolated box, a sound box basically, or maybe something to keep the heat in for ABS printing. Then it would be easy or handy to move operating this control panel outside of that box. So yeah, could be nice. All right. Then again, we've got these braces, which will run from the rear of the printer diagonally up to the upper structure. So 2 aluminium braces, and are they adjustable? Yeah, they are even adjustable. I'm assuming they have been set up to the correct length, but if they somehow aren't, you can adjust them on either end. Nice. Okay, filament holder, which will go onto the gantry at the top, and we'll also see that in the assembly video, but yeah. Standard fare basically. A lot of printers now have their spool at the top of the printer, and there's also going to be a filament sensor, if all is well. Let's have a look. It should be in your parts bag. A filament sensor. Oh, there is actually a snipper. Haha. A wire snipper. Okay. Very well done, Elegoo. Very well done. Okay, so a plastic scraper. And where is my filament sensor? Yeah, here's the filament sensor. Yeah, that'll also detector switch. It's a filament sensor. Yeah, which will also go onto the top of our gantry, and it'll mount probably to one of these holes. Press nuts over here, press nuts, yeah. Comes with screws, and okay. Standard fare, basically. And what more in this bag? Oh yeah, we got a USB cable to hook it up to our computer, maybe? I never do, basically. I always transfer my files with a memory card. Having said that, is there actually... Yeah, there is a micro SD card slot over here, to the left of that RT45 over here. Okay. And yeah, the printer even comes with a card, and then adapter or a card reader for your computer. Let's have a look at that. Hartstikke little card reader with a 16 gigabyte SD card, USB card reader. Very nice. This looks to be a very complete setup. Okay, we got some PLA, yeah, basic fare, right? Most printers come with a little roll of PLA, and we'll actually use that in the next video to test our printer. We've got assembly tools, Allen key, wrench, screwdrivers, and we'll have to see if that's enough. In most cases that is enough. Assembling this printer won't be rocket science. Okay, we've got screws, and as you can hopefully see, all those bags are nicely labeled, so you can see what screw is in what bag. So that's nice. And as mentioned, you've got a glue stick. Never used them, but yeah, you got it and it's free, so that's definitely nice. And the last thing that was on the box was our upper gantry, the upper structure, the vertical structure if you will. So 2 uprights, aluminium, and on the other side, that's definitely not unimportant, we've got 2 lead screws. So not 1, but 2, and also 2 stepper motors at the bottom. So that's definitely nice. Obviously for the horizontal movement we got a motor over here, yeah, that's that one. And a belt, and belt tension, well, could need a little bit more tension from the looks of it. And so yeah, we've got our print head over here. Oh, don't go anywhere. The print head over here, and already in place. And this is, not unimportantly, not a Bowden printer, but a direct feed printer, meaning that the extruder, or the motor that makes sure that the filament gets pushed through, is in this print head, or in this assembly. Whereas on a lot of printers, that motor, that pusher motor, that motor that pushes the filament through the printer, is somewhere else on the printer. Maybe at the back of one of these uprights, with a tube, a Bowden tube. And then yeah, you kind of hope that Bowden tube doesn't have a lot of play. Yeah, so I can tell you one thing, I am never going back to Bowden extruder printers. This is so much better, a direct drive print head like this. This here is the filament inlet, and a release for the filament, and a cable holder, if you will, connector for the electronics, the cable from this one, this one over here. This will hook into our printer head. Yeah, this makes the printer a lot more precise, Even you can do extraction with flexible filaments, which you can definitely not do with a Bowden printer. And in case that's new to you, flexible filaments, you can't with a Bowden printer pull back. For instance, if you want to run a gap from one side of the print to the next, you can't retract, if you will, retract the filament, because that flexible filament would jam up things. I found that with a direct drive like this you can. I wouldn't retract like a centimeter or so, but a couple of millimeters does work and makes your flex filament prints a lot better. Yeah, so what I'll do, with the magic of YouTube, I'll cut to a finished printer. Right, and in the next video, again, I'll show you how to set this printer up. But here is our massive Elegoo Neptune 3 Max printer. It is a big one. It's a big printer. Yeah, it is. It's not cumbersome, and it's actually easy to transport because it's very rugged. It goes well together, but it's big and it's not light. It's not light. Yeah, I ran into 0 issues assembling this printer, but again, I'll have a video on the assembly of this printer right after this here video. But I was pleasantly, so far, impressed, pleasantly surprised. Maybe I have no prior experience with Elegoo, this brand. So far, not bad at all. No, this is definitely better than the entry-level printers from, say, Creality. I have no real issues so far at all, basically. So yeah, maybe the one issue I have, and that's true for most printers, is this connector at the back of the print bed. If you'd want to set up this printer as close to a wall as possible, this will limit very much how close to the wall you can set up this printer. But again, that goes for most any FDM printer, as you probably know. Other than that, this structure is set up with the braces, with these braces at the back. It feels super sturdy. It feels over-engineered. No, I wouldn't call it over-engineered. It's basically still a simple frame setup, but it feels very sturdy. For instance, the mount for this controller, you can pick up the entire printer from this plastic piece, which is obviously not needed, but it's super sturdy. Yeah, a nice, very nice print bed as well. Magnetic. Very, very nice. It's big. You will need to have the space. But for instance, if you were to want to print RC airplane parts, with a printer like this, you can print bigger sections, making your RC airplane stronger, potentially. Yeah, so my channel is about RC things, right? In most instances, I print small things. But yeah, obviously, you can also print small things with this printer. But you will need to have the space for a big printer like it is. Yeah, okay, next up, again, assembly. I'll also do a separate video on setting it up, the final tweaking and getting the print bed leveling done. Yeah, I've never printed with this printer at all, so we'll see how we fare in that video. For now, I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video. Bye bye.